Hey, so we know that there are a lot of terms and definitions in climate action that are sort of a little bit confusing. So this is not an exhaustive list. We just picked four. I think, Candice, did we pick four of them?
Yes, you're going to quiz me on four things I may or may not know about.
Well, it's kind of not fair because I've been listening and doing all the recording this week, so I feel like I would be cheating a little bit and tell us what is a carbon sink.
So, a carbon sink, I learned, is not like your kitchen sink. It is basically any natural reservoir. Think of it as vegetation. Vegetation and the oceans are actually two of the largest, but it's a natural reservoir that absorbs more carbon dioxide than it actually releases into the atmosphere. So, therefore, it helps to lower the amount of CO2 that is in our atmosphere. Did I get that right? 10 points for me.
You win a gold star. So, carbon offsets, which actually work hand in
Ooh,
hand with
yes.
carbon sinks.
It does work with carbon sink. This is a bit of a tricky one that I had to take a little while to wrap my head around as well. But it's basically, as I understand, it's basically an offset to reduce the amount of emissions that you as an individual or a company is emitting into the atmosphere by compensating for those emissions by having someone else sink those carbon, the
Yeah,
carbon that you're emitting,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Something like that.
yeah. You pollute, they depollute, I
They
guess.
depollute,
Right?
right?
Yeah,
Right.
depollute. It's a new word.
That's a word. Yeah.
Depollute. Okay, now here's something fun that we learned about when we talked to in at Laurel Point, geothermal energy.
So geothermal energy, geo comes from, I guess, the earth, rocks, is when we generate electricity by harnessing the power of, let's say, hot water or steam under the earth to create energy and electricity. So it's a lot cleaner than burning fossil fuels.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, in at Laurel Point told us that they are cooled. I think if I got that right, and we can
That's
check with
right.
them, that they're cooled by geothermal. And I believe Stratus Winery out here in Niagara is warmed, or they might be warmed and cooled. I'm not clear on it. They always just say geothermal energy, and I never want to be that geek in the middle of a really yummy wine tasting to go, wait a minute, explain to me how your energy system works. So,
I
but
think you're right. I do remember reading about both those fantastic venues utilizing this as their source of energy. So good for them. More people need to be doing this.
yeah, yeah, it kind of sounds cool, right? Like,
Right.
so then, hot topic right now. Everybody seems to have a film out about the soil and agriculture. So tell us, Candice, what the heck is regenerative agriculture?
So thanks to Woody Harrelson and his latest Netflix film that I watched a couple of weeks ago, it's called Kiss the Ground. I learned a bit more about regenerative agriculture, and it's basically conserving the soil. So it's implying or imploring farming practices that help to conserve the biodiversity or improve the biodiversity, the water cycle, and topsoil and nutrients by using more conservative rehabilitative approaches to farming. Did I get
Absolutely.
that?
Well done. Well done. You
Thank
must have
you.
practiced that one. That was really good.
Uh,
That was really good.
Lots of Netflix helped me learn. Netflix, binge Netflix and learn, people.
Yeah, yeah, it's not just entertainment. It was actually funny because I was thinking, isn't there like an old, it was kind of never my genre, but Joni Mitchell had a song like Pave Paradise,
Put
turn
up
it
a
in.
parking lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's like now, years and years later, we're like, oh yeah, we
yes,
should do
yeah,
that. It's
totally.
all good. Awesome. So was there anything that you have discovered going into TSEF that really surprised you that isn't one of these four? Like what was kind of your nugget? What was your big aha?
I really enjoyed our partnership and conversations we've had with the Carbon Farmer and learning more about how tree planting initiatives can help with habitat restoration and maintaining a great natural environment for these trees to flourish, which in
Yeah,
turn can be used the carbon sink that they produce to offset, like we were just talking about. So
Yeah.
I would have to say learning more about regenerative practices through tree planting and agricultural purposes was a big learning curve for me.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's been a fascinating journey. And Brad Raby of Carbon Farmer is planting our trees for us. So thank you. Big
Great.
shout out to Brad Raby. He's actually from north of where I'm from. Very few people are from north of where I'm from. I'm from a little town called Sled Lake, and he's actually from Manning. So he's really,
Shout
really
out to Manning.
yeah, shout out to Manning. So excellent. Candace, thank you for helping us all learn a little bit more. We can't wait for you to see all of our live programs where you can talk and interact with all of these fantastically smart people who are doing incredible things for the environment. So thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks, Candace.
No
4 out of 4. Well done.
Thank you. What's my prize?
It's supposed to be a prize. I'll get right on that.
Thank you, guys.